Xfinity's David Onda here at San Diego Comic-Con with Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go star Scott Menville. I almost got through it. It's day 4 at Comic-Con, right?
It is day 4 at Comic-Con. You know, we're all just kind of riding the wave of craziness at this point.
Yes. So I wanted to ask you about trying to balance the differences between the voices of the two different Robins in this movie, and if it ever gets to a point where, like, it's just too much in your head.
Well, they are pretty similar, but there definitely were moments where I had dialogue about my OG Teen Titans Robin. I'm like, he wouldn't speak that fast on this line. And sometimes I won, and sometimes our producers and director were like, he's got to speak fast for comedy on this one. But yeah, mostly it's a pretty good balance. I find that a stance helps with the original Robin, and a lot of hand moving and flapping helps with Go Robin. So...
Is this the most fun character? I mean, you've done so many voices. Is this the most fun you have with the character?
So many of my characters are dear to my heart, so I can't say the most fun, but I will say it's definitely Teen Titans Go is the craziest I've ever gotten to go with any character. I mean, I got to do a monologue in Pig Latin in an episode. Hendon Walsh, who plays Starfire, and I just had an episode that aired where we sang opera. Yeah. I'm like a punk rock kid, and all of a sudden I'm getting paid to sing opera? What? And then there was our 200th episode where they animated us into it, where the Titans meet the voice actors. So as far as craziness, this is the craziest character I've ever played.
Have you ever pranked anyone in your Robin voice? Ordered McDonald's in Robin voice?
I have not, but I've pranked people in just other random voices. But I have been recognized from the Robin voice.
Really?
I was at a barbecue one time or it was like a catered event, and the caterer recognized my voice and said that he taught, he's American, but taught ESL to Japanese students in Japan and showed them the original Teen Titans episodes to teach them English.
Wow.
So he knew me from my voice. So you see, kids, cartoons are educational.
Yes, amazing. Hi, Gray. Hi. Nice to see you. So tell me, you play Mrs. Claus, correct?
I sure do. I play Mrs. Claus in this. I'm about 90 years old. I've been around a little bit.
And she's a villain in this?
No, she's not just baking cookies anymore. She's taking over the world and doing some naughty things.
How exactly how many voice roles have you done in your career, if you could count?
Someone has counted, and it's that Behind the Voice Actors website. Yeah. It's somewhere over 1,500. So I think I've done more than any woman. I'm not sure, but but I'm just bragging about myself. It's like, Gray, you sound really douchey right now. We're gonna have to cut that. Anyway.
Well, we were talking to Tom Kenny earlier this week, and he was telling us about the variations in all the voices he does and what is the hardest voice in his repertoire. What was the hardest that you ever had to do, and why?
Gosh, I played Mandy on The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy ages ago, and I'm a really animated, bubbly person, and she just was really, she was very Ravenish, actually. People a lot of times ask me if I played Raven, and I say, yes, I did. I did play Raven. But she just kind of talked a little bit like that, and she didn't really do much at all. And that was really hard for me because I kept trying to be talking, and they're like, less, Gray, less. And I was like, it's so hard. I just want to go, blah, blah.
So how does Mrs. Claus fare in the battle versus the Titans versus Mrs. Claus?
Well, she may get her due, if you know what I mean.
Not all cookies.
Yes, evil never triumphs.
What's better, burgers or burritos?
Can you really say one is better than the other? There are pros and there are cons, But I tend to lean on the burger. Yeah. But there are moments where that's just too much bread. Right. There are moments where it's just too much bread, and you got to go burrito. Yeah. You also get the rice and the beans. The cilantro, the salsa. Not that you can't put that on a burger. You could. But I'm just saying, why do we have to choose? Isn't diversity the beauty of this country that we live in? It is. Exactly. So yeah. Let's roll burger and burrito. Right. You know what I mean? Like it. Absolutely. Hybrid. Yeah.
2 cyborgs for the price of one in this.
Oh, 2 at the very least.
Yeah. So
2 at the very least. This is a multi-faceted cyborg Teen Titans thing we're having here. If we're just talking 2, that's not worth a movie.
Okay.
It's going to get crazy out there. It's going to get wild up in y'all.
How do you get in your head into the space to do the subtle differences in each of the voices?
There's something wrong with me.
Okay.
Yeah. I go into therapy for it, but then I stopped the therapy halfway through because that's how I got the job, was being a little off.
Got it.
So it's a weird, mental health conundrum when being mentally, like screwed up in your head is what keeps you getting employed. So, it's a fine line I'm walking. It's a fine line.
There's been so many amazing meta references to the original Teen Titans
That's
in
all
Go.
we do. Literally, that's what I was just explaining. The Teen Titans Go show that we do is like a flu-induced, fever dream that the old show had. And they wake up in a cold sweat wondering what just happened, and then they sleep again for 11 minutes. That's what Teen Titans Go is. It's like if you got drunk with all your friends and reminisced about the old days. This is what Teen Titans Go is.
Do you have a favorite reference that you've made to the other cyborg?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, obviously the booyahs are, the love between Beast Boy and Cyborg is always there. But the thing that I probably most love is Cyborg's kind of newfound love of music. In Teen Titans Go, and I mean from The Night Begins to Shine to to all of these different songs in between. I mean, honestly, we got like enough for like 3 albums. We need to just put them all out.
Really? Seriously?
We seriously do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make an album.
We'll do that. Sam Register, talking to you.
In the original Teen Titans, Raven is very much the most serious character. What is it like to play that duality and play the, get loose and have fun with the Go version of Raven?
This movie is the perfect dichotomy because if you're a fan of the original, the stakes are high, it's serious, the enemies are real, it's tense, it's dangerous and scary. And if you're a fan of the new one, there's also plenty of comedy. So it's that perfect mix, and getting to play the OG Raven is like riding a bike, getting right back into her. And the vocal changes that you hear are based on the action, on what's happening, on what's going on around them. And with all the characters, it's so interesting to watch and hear the difference vocally. Even though we're the same people, it's coming from the same character. Right. Based on what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, you are going to hear a slight difference in performance.
Will we ever see the return of Lady Legacy?
I think so. I mean, how do you not? She's a star. It's pretty important.
We were talking to Tom Kenny earlier this week, and he was telling us about the most difficult characters in his vast repertoire. You have a similarly vast repertoire. When you think back, what was that voice that, for whatever reason, was really hard to get down?
It's not that it was hard to get down, but the most vocally taxing was Terrence from Foster's Home, just because he was yelling all the time. And it was very deep in my boy range, so it was like raspy and yelly, like all the time being a bully. So that was the most vocally taxing.
Was that the same? Was Foster's Home the same thing as Tom Kenny? That's what Tom Kenny said as well.
Eduardo, okay, yeah. It was, it was a lot of work. But, I mean, what a great show. We're so proud to be a part of that,
So can you tell me a little bit about what sparks this battle between the Teen Titans Go and the OG Titans?
Raven is the star of this movie, of course, and her crystal cracks. And so that unleashes her inner demon, which is how her father would like to take over the universe. So she has to fight that demon, and her friends come together to help her because it's a pretty powerful demon. And so it's all about getting that demon back under control before it takes over, and then Trigon can take over the universe.
Is it like watching two of your children fight?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Before I let you go, I wanted to ask, have you ever pranked anyone in one of your voices before, or ordered like fast food in any of your voices?
I like to talk to telemarketers a lot in funny voices. Yeah. If you're going to call my house, you're going to have to pay for it.